All right, so I'm gonna start with upper left-hand corner. Upper left-hand corner. Pray faith God. Traditionally, my family is not extremely religious. However, I believe, especially as an adult, I believe in doing good, positive actions, and positive vibrations, man. So I believe in whenever you can, because of karma and etc. The next image is the beach. I couldn't go on vacation last year, but I plan on going on vacation at the end of this year. My life right now is all about work, so I'm happy, I'm satisfied. I try to find special moments or special places in the city to enjoy myself. For example, sometimes if I feel like having a Parisian breakfast, a croissant or something like that, I go to a particular place. There are some French restaurants that serve like a French breakfast, so I don't feel like I need to go to Paris, get on a plane, especially after COVID. I mean, I think we need to be creative. If I think that you don't have to go to Germany to enjoy a German hot dog, you may investigate where in Mexico City or in New York or wherever you are, you can ask for such things. I think that's a way to be a little creative, especially after the pandemic. But I do plan on swimming at the beach, maybe at the end of the year, also because of the vitamin D that the sun gives me. I don't have any problem with the sun. I love the sun. I have pictures where I'm actually very dark because I love the sun. Just because I work online, I'm always inside the house. It's difficult for me to get dark. It's something that I think it's really cool. I think people should appreciate the sun. For me, the worst thing is when people walk with umbrellas. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Umbrellas for the sun. The next image is reading and writing. That's very important for me because of my classes. For me, for myself, obviously I enjoy reading, even though I recognize that a lot of the new trends, we have to transfer all that to video, even reading. Actually, on my channel, I have some girls that read a full book for you. It's still video, but we have to get creative. You may buy the book and you follow along with a hard copy. It's important to always have a hard copy, even with the material that I send my students. Uh, I'm always going to ask you to print a hard copy. Writing, neither I nor my students do it enough. I have to be honest with you. I don't write anymore. I had a policy like 2 years ago. I said, okay, all my lesson plans or my class preparation. And you know what? It's a good idea to open my mouth and say, okay, let me get a notebook and at least do the class planning. Actually, this was my class planning. This was actually my class planning for some years back. You can see all of my classes here. I can't tell you the names, just because I have different companies. And I love looking at these. I love looking at this because I remember the people, remember the groups, but it's also nostalgic because these groups are like I said, 2 years ago. And here are the dates. Monday, September 9th. I didn't write the year. I should have written the year and the time. What happens at 11, 11:20, 11:30, 11:40? What happens at 11:50? It is for me. That's why the writing looks a little funny, but nobody sees this. So yeah, that was my policy. Write at least the lesson plans for the classes, and maybe I can buy a little notebook. Great idea. Let's do it. I'm gonna buy a notebook, especially for writing classes, because right now I'm doing it online. I'm not following my own instructions. I do it online because I have the perception that if I show you the lesson plan, it's better for you. It is, but I'm not showing the lesson plans to lots of students. What I am doing is I'm preparing and I'm thinking about your classes. What do I remember from the previous lesson? What do you remember from the previous lesson? I remember that we're working with the intention box and vision board or intention board. Why the box? Because she likes to write letters of every month to review her progress or to go over her progress. Okay, in any case, for you guys, always the 100 song challenge. I'm going to prepare my lessons in writing, but for you guys, I'm going to ask you to please work on the 100 song challenge. Continue writing songs. If you don't write them at home, we'll write them in class. The next one is the clock. I love clocks. I love watches. I have some of them right here. Let me show you. I have a watch right here. I have a watch there. Also a clock. I plan on buying a lot of clocks. I like to have them all over the house because, as you and I know, when you study project management, you picture who's going to be working on what and at what time and what deadlines we're going to meet. So I think this is like an orchestra. Everybody working together to accomplish something big, to accomplish the most in the least amount of time, and everyone has a responsibility. The more watches I have, especially mechanical watches or clocks, the more clocks I have, for me the better. I can use my imagination. These clocks are for my exercise routine. This clock is for my family. Each clock for each one of the activities. I'm obsessed with watches and clocks and time. The next image is juices and healthy food. It's important for all of us. We're not going to be young forever, and it's important to take care of yourself. The more things you can accomplish. Next one is yoga. A lot of my students love yoga, and so do I. I'm starting to get involved with some of the concepts, or I guess truths. So I like the philosophy. Also the fact that you're stretching your muscles, using your body in different positions. It's an amazing concept. I may start taking yoga classes, but I'm not taking classes right now. Next one is friendships. Spend more time with friends. It's an area that is very difficult. Some friends are afraid of COVID. They don't want to go out, but I'll try to keep that in mind as the year progresses. The next image is sleep. I don't have any problems with sleep. You know, if I do exercise, eat well, my sleeping goes well. I use a product. I try to use something to clean up my nose, so that way I'm not snoring. I'm breathing properly. I have no idea how many breaths I take when I sleep, but I'm sure that it's a large number. You know, try to clean up my nose before I get some rest. Take full advantage of it. Dancing. I usually don't pay attention to this image. I'm actually glad it's here because a lot of people ignore it. It's not important for me. I don't like the dancing. It's controlled movements, always the same tit 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 tit. So with dancing, and there's drinking and tobacco, so not for me. It's ridiculous. Even when I go out, I see people running around the track. That's like a hamster. I prefer to run kilometers, watch different neighborhoods, watch different part of the mountain. That's way more entertaining for me, but I guess that's because of my personality, and that's why I don't like dancing. It's very controlled. I prefer freedom, be free with my cardio, going up the uphill, downhill, sideways. Like I said, I don't use running shoes. I use boots. I use boots because I'm gonna go everywhere. You know, I have no limits. So even if there's water, I wear boots when I run. Alright, so that's my cardio, running everywhere with my dog. Fashion, it's not like a big intention for the year, but it's important, but it's not something that I'm gonna focus my energy on. Personally, I don't need to buy any more clothes. I know that I mentioned that fashion is important, but I have plenty of clothes. So I'm not that type of person. So I don't need to switch clothes every year. It's unnecessary. The next one is, wow. All right, class is over. It's just playing. Romantic relationships. The next one is a camera. The camera is my vision. Have you ever heard of shared studios? I'm not sure if you've ever seen a gold container in Reforma. Let me show you a picture. There's this golden box in Reforma. This box is actually what they call a portal. This is perfect. They're containers used for transportation. At times you're gonna find a golden one in every city in the world. Well, not every city, many cities in the world. And this is like a portal. It's called a portal, where you're walking by downtown. You see this box, you enter, but inside you have a lot of technology. You have cameras, microphones, and basically it's like a square where you can see the full body of a person. It's like Zoom, but it's a full body version. It's called Share Studios Portal. Let me show you an example. I've been in this portal. You enter one of these boxes and you talk to people. I've done it. I've talked to people in LA. I've talked to people in Denver. I've talked to people in Brussels at the European, in front of the European Parliament. Basically, it's a studio. I think it's a lot of technology. You have a light, you have a camera, you have microphones. It's not like me, like, I need to have this headset. No, you enter the portal, you close it, and then you're alone with someone else in a different part of the world. This was, obviously, it is like an experiment. I'll send you a video that talks about how the experiment started. Oh, this is called immersive audiovisual technology. And that's my idea for the future. I want to make an investment in my classes, of course, where I can have like a studio and I can close it and just focus on you. That's going to be great because we're also going to avoid the noises outside of the street. So you can also move. I can get rid of the headset. Yeah. This audiovisual technology is my plan for the future. This camera represents all the investment that I need to make and work hard. And like I said, step number one, I'm going to get that computer, the computer of my dreams. Or the laptop of my dream. It's on the way. It's coming. It's gonna take more than, I'm gonna make some improvements, but not everything is gonna happen this year. I have the camera so I can focus on that. Going outside, yeah, big part of my life. It's a big part of my life. I love cardio. I love breathing outside. I enjoy nature. And as we all know, one of the unintended consequences of the pandemic, people are learning how beautiful it is when we don't have as many people in parks, outside, because, pollution. People are learning to respect nature, and I love that. I just went up the mountain this weekend, and it's something that I love. I really love to see. I saw that people were just running, taking their bikes, and it makes me feel good. I saw that people were using the recycled tires to put the plants on. So let's Google recycled tires. like plant pots. I saw this in a mountain, a lot of these, something like this, using the tires to create like an ecosystem. And I said, I love that. This, instead of throwing the tires in a landfill for pollution, using them. Look at this one. I love it. They're beautiful. In the mountain, they don't paint them. They keep them black. But I love it. Look at this one. Amazing. You could have different types of plants in there. I love this. I love to see this in the mountain. You know? Buy vitamins and supplements, that's not important for me. I do have some. I'm not too concerned about this. Remember, this intention box is very similar to my life, everyone's lives, but this is not mine specifically. You know what the next activity is. Next activity is you have to create each one of the images and present this information.